Hello everybody, and Jess here, and welcome back to Yuuki Yuuna is a Yuusha, episode 3, in which actually kind of hard to tell what's gonna happen. Because so far I might be mistaken, but it seems like we are very much in the area of Monster of the Week, right? It's the way that I noticed plenty of shows of this type start with, at least, from my limited experience. The first couple of episodes are, oh, there's a monster, and we gotta find that monster, and we fight it, and we win, and everything is good. And only after some time, after like the first 4 or 5 episodes, 3 maybe, shit starts hitting the fan. So I think we are still in that Monster of the Week area. We'll see. Time will, of course, verify my beliefs. This episode is late, on Patreon at least. It will be on time on YouTube. It's late on Patreon because I honestly believed that I did record episode 3 and that I did release it, but apparently I didn't. And nobody told me that I didn't release episode 3 early on Patreon, so I just kinda, I guess, assumed that everything is good. Complain, people! If you don't see me release a video ahead of time, complain! You know my Discord server, go there and complain to me, or leave me a comment or something. Because I'm forgetful sometimes, I'm just a human after all. But yeah, it's here now on Patreon and gonna be on YouTube in like 3-4 days, thereabout. Right, previous episode, let's start with that. In the previous episode, we finished the first fight of the season, and it was very successful, of course. Everything went well, almost too well, one could even say. And the one person who didn't take part in that fight whatsoever, and I guess I need to clean this glasses around because it itself is dirty. So it's dirtying my glasses instead of cleaning them. The black-haired girl did not take part in it, and her name is Mimori Tougou. Didn't fight because she was scared, right? She's bound to her wheelchair, and she wholeheartedly believed that she's just going to be useless in battle, so why even try? Regardless, they managed the fight even without her help, and then she got all depressive and spirally, and she was, constantly ruminating on the fact that, oh, I'm useless, they have superpowers and I have a wheelchair, yada yada yada. Thankfully, Yuuna was able to snap her out of it with some good old power of friendship and reminiscing of the past, and remember how, you came to the neighborhood and I was the first one to meet you and stay with you, stick to you, and we're friends, childhood friends, we're nakama, and everything is good in the world. Not everything is good in the world, because the next fight happened, the next invasion, time stopped again, and this time we had to fight not 1, not 2, but 3 monsters, I believe. 3 vertexes, vectors. 3 V's, I'm just gonna say. And that was a little too much. Our heroes were being slapped around like ragdolls, especially Yuuna, who landed in front of Mimori. Mimori then decided that no, she will not let their nakama be abused by the monsters, and she will pick up the arms. And pick up the arms she did. 4 of them, actually, in more ways than one, because she picked up 4 arms, as in Dr. Octagonopus blah. Her ribbons are her mode of locomotion, which is amazing, and I love it. I would much rather that than her just being given, full control of her legs, because that would be kind of lazy. But no, instead she got ribbons that she uses to walk, and that's cool. That's amazing. I love it. And she got 4 arms, as in 4 guns. 2 pistols, single pistol, twin underslung shotgun things, and a sniper rifle. So yeah, 4 guns in total, and 3 whole of 3 fairies, which I have to wonder. Actually, I don't think I noted it down. I have to wonder if it's somehow special. If she's somehow special that she got 3 separate fairies. Mimori getting 3 fairies is special. Oh, right, and Mimori also has memory loss, so maybe that's gonna be important. Somehow, maybe her parents were magical girls and she inherited the fairies from them. I don't know, something. Maybe, but I have to wonder if it's somehow significant, and it probably is. And from that point on, the fight went well. All of the monsters were defeated, and the interesting thing that the soul of the monster, or the core, or whatever you want to call it, can still defend itself, can like multiply, can move really fast, and it seems like each of our girls has a special thing that helps them counteract specific cores, right? Some of them have AoE attacks, so if there is multiple, they can just get rid of multiple. Some of them are really quick, so they can defeat like quick moving ones. And Mimori was able to pierce through something with her sniper rifle and destroy the core that way. Cool, teamwork. Everybody has their own specialty, and they work together to defeat the evil of the V's. What do I expect from today's episode? I don't know. As I said, we're probably still in the period of kind of slice of life, kind of cute girls doing cute things, a little bit of fighting here and there, but mostly monster of the week. Heavy lore is probably not coming quite yet. Although again, I might very well be mistaken. So in a summary, I don't know what to expect from this episode. We will just have to see that, won't we? And to do that, you will need your subs, of course, to follow along with me. And I will need my sound to hear what's going on in the show. And I'm gonna have to ask you for support the channel if you want monetarily on Patreon or YouTube down below, or not share my content, spread the word, it costs you nothing and helps a lot. And with that, we can start watching Yuyuyu episode 3 in 3, 2, 1, go. Oh, time skip. Alright. Where, or am I like... No, episode 3. Sure. Yeah, 12 of them, and we apparently already got rid of 4. Maybe even more during this time that we just skipped. Mm-hmm. Yes. I know exactly what you mean. If we just play Sudoku on our phone, everything's gonna go well. Oh, a 5th one? Okay. We're getting the antagonist, but also on the side of good kind of thing, right? Like, I don't know, White Ranger in Power Rangers. This kind of deal? Like Hitomi Chris in Symphogear. Although Chris arguably was a villain. Like Maria in Symphogear. Yeah, that's closer to it. Although, no, she was also... whatever, you know what I mean. Gas, as you already heard. Okay. One-man army. And she has a talking katana. Okay, we friends, we enemies, we competitors. Are you a transfer student? Are they not official heroes dispatched by the Taisha? They are. Unless, I know, Fuu didn't tell them everything and they're just cosplayers. Probably not, though. Well, the solution seems simple. Call up the HQ, ask what the fuck's going on, right? Something tells me it's not gonna be quite that simple, though. I'm guessing Karin is gonna get herself into trouble, and it will be up to the rest of the girls to save her, and then she will change her tune and be like, I guess you did help me this once, baka. I guess I can join your stupid club, baka. Right? Something like that, probably. That's the vibe I'm getting from her, at least. Interestingly, though, she doesn't appear in the opening. So I wonder if it's a case of being a rival. Right? She fails some mission, Taisha calls her back, and the girls have to handle those missions again on their own. And Karin appears every now and then to stir some trouble and, I don't know, maybe. Moral poise. Transfer student. That was so obvious. Yes. Absolutely not because of Taisha. Or I guess that Taisha might have arranged a new work for her parents. Oh, and the fairies with her? Oh, they're in the club room. Gotcha. Makes sense. Of course, she's gonna be the most powerful hero. Yeah, she's gonna be fun to have around, for sure. It's Karin-sama for you, pleb. Okay, Karin-chan it is then. Yes, you are. It's not a matter of consent. Yeah, so join the club then. Yeah. Pot, kettle. Fairies can speak. Is it all of them or just this particular one? How? There's no Pokeballs. Okay, the phone is also a Pokeball. They do look a lot of Pokemon, don't they? Yeah, I got 3. I got 3 starters from Dr. Oak. Okay, so he has just preset lines, doesn't he? Yep, your tarot's really bad. Yes, of course. I mean, truth be told, there aren't that many left, so... So I wonder how did they get so many seasons out of that, huh? Something tells me the 12 vertexes aren't quite the, the end game of it. She's going to train. She's a sword. Swords don't eat udon. She liked tsunderes. It's probably not up to you, it's up to her, so don't, worry about it. Yes, of course. She's just Tsubasa. Easily flustered Tsubasa. I'm sorry, I'm really gonna be drawing a lot of parallels between this show and others like it that I've seen. I can't help it. Seriousness of the situation. Well, tell them if they're unaware. Seems like a very simple solution to a problem that Taisha might have created themselves, right? Store-bought lunch, of course. No joy in her life, just work and training, work and training. She could use some friends. She could use to eat some crepes at Flower, right? She could use those things. And she will probably have access to them now. After some time, of course, after she warms up. Thank you. Yes. And stab into Mimori. Probably yes, but in an endearing way. Also, I like that she has that thingamajig on her swimming cap. It's like her, defining feature. Dried sardines? And this just instantly reminds me of Girls und Panzer. Honestly, they would make an amazing Girls und Panzer club. And the music, right? It's empty calories. Yeah, that already happened. Oh, so we're gamifying it now, are we? Okay. Sure. Did they make a gacha out of this franchise? Or at least a game? What am I saying? Of course they made games, it's a huge franchise. But did they make a gacha specifically, I wonder? Oh, she's a late bloomer. Makes sense. uh, I wonder if she ended up here because the Taisha decided that they need her, or they decided that she needs them. Right? Because it really seems to me like it's more of a case of her needing them to, wind down a little bit. Yes. Right, we still have to worry about the festivals and the usual activities of the club. I mean, yeah, you're a member of the club, aren't you? Training. I am a sword after all. Yeah, she is slowly melting. Slowly but surely. Look at that smile. She had fun at school for the first time in however long, right? Supplements, dried fish, yeah, all sorts of boring but technically nutritious food. She's learning origami though, right? She gives it her all, whatever it might be. That's commendable. Empty. Surprise party? No, not a surprise party. Hmm. Ah, right. But I don't have their numbers. Okay, you do. Of course. You have a lot of combat skills, but very little people skills. That's what's wrong with you. I mean, wrong, quote unquote, right? By her own definition, I guess you could say. And a hero doesn't break a word once given, so okay, she's not going there. Alright. Yeah, they're counting on you as well. The kids were counting on you as well. And you failed them. How can you hope to save the world if you can't even bring smiles to a couple of children excited to learn origami? right? Okay, we're having a party. I see those groceries. That's the Taisha logo, I would assume. Yeah? Oh, how do they even know it's her birthday? I guess it's like on the form to join the club or something. Yep, exactly. You're gonna have fun whether you like it or not. She didn't, but everyone always would. That's my assumption. So she forced herself to not care. Yep, exactly. She forced herself to not care, but she cares very much. Yeah, she did have the date circled and all. How can you get drunk on cola? And it's like, I know, sugar rush. That's every day. If every day is marked, then none of them is. Sure, let's practice a skit. Too late. This show really is moving at a brisk pace, isn't it? Not in any sort of a bad way, mind you. In a very good way. Huh? Yeah, maybe don't. Oh, she got an invite to the group chat. Right, right, right. I thought it's some like I know suspicious link that will I know hack her hero app or something. Okay, so she's gonna be the red one. We have a color confirmation. She truly is Chris. Botamochi. I mean, fair. Yeah, doesn't mean you can't have fun on your like days off. You're not saving the world every day. It's been like a month and a half since the last time, right? Oh, has she been added to the ending? I'm not 100% sure whether she was in the ending already or not. She might have been added, she might not have been. I don't know. Nice episode. About what I would expect from this show at this stage, basically, right? We are still very much building the team. And because our main girls knew each other already from the club and from the school and outside of the club and outside of the school, we had to introduce someone new to introduce a little bit of friction. And it works. It just works. It's a tried and tested method. Each of us possesses a special color. Indeed you do. Bacca de bacca. And apparently those are not yeah, they're not like spoiler things. Just like random lines, kind of like in Frieren, I guess. Shining Hearts! And we learned that Karina doesn't have a reason to be a hero. I assume she doesn't have any particular drive. She was just meant to be a hero, so she became a hero. Simple as. Let's watch it again. Also simple. Right. I did not expect a time skip. I'ma be honest with you. And this kind of I know plays into my my thought that this show is moving at a very brisk pace, right? We're not actually like wasting time with a month and a half of I don't know whatever slice of life or fighting. That's the thing though. We don't really have like lesser vertexes to fight or anything like that, right? We have 12 of those, and we gotta defeat all 12 of them to, you know, save the world or whatever. So you can't exactly like spend a month and a half fighting them once a week because, right, it would already be done. We don't have grunts akin to the noise, for example. So I guess it does make sense to give us a little bit of a time skip, a month and a half, where nothing happened in between. I wonder how and if they're going to make use. They probably are going to make use of the fact that there are big gaps between vertex attacks. I think, and I hope that we can expect more slice of lifey episodes like this one. It would be nice. It would be nice. It would make the stakes so much more personal because, again, I'm gonna come back to Symphogear, where my biggest complaint about the later seasons of Symphogear was how non-personal the stakes were. World destruction is like whatever. Every single animate threatens world destruction. The pancake shop getting destroyed, yo, that's real shit. Right? Our friends are meeting there to protect the fucking pancake shop. So if they keep the like proportion, good. Something tells me though that the vertexes are very much not be all and end all, and after the 12 vertexes are done, turns out something else happens, or the last vertex does create minions, or turns out that there are more than 12 vertexes, or something happens. I don't think I really need to note it down, but you know, it's a theory, so I'm gonna note it down. Vertexes are not all there is. If they were, then we would be done with this franchise by the end of the season with the pace it's going at. And I know for a fact that there's multiple seasons and there are games and manga, I think maybe like light novels, all sorts of stuff is there. So yeah, probably not. Our job will be done once we defeat all of them. Yeah. The fifth one, it's been a whole month. Let's go Hero Club, and we get an interloper. Behold my power, she says. She wields a katana. She has a talking fairy, and she's very much the haughty and high and mighty, and my body is a sword kind of an archetype, but also very easily flustered and very much in need of friends. Basically a combination of Hitomi Chris and Tsubasa. That's kind of how I view her. Of course, she's different, right? Like, don't take what I say literally. She's very much different and distinct from those characters, but very much reminiscent of them, is what I mean here. Official real hero dispatched by the Taisha. What exactly does being a real quote-unquote hero entail? Training, we hear. Curious that we don't see her in the opening. I wonder if she will be added from the next episode onwards, because if she's supposed to be a part of the team, yeah, she's probably going to be somewhere either to the left or in the middle. There's going to be a spot for her, for sure. I guess they didn't add her to the opening yet, but added her to the ending because it's still very much up in the air whether she's going to join or not. Her joining is like the obvious choice, of course, but there could be, many other things done with it. She could be was it White or was it the Green Ranger in Power Rangers? I guess it depends on the season, but there usually was that one ranger who would appear, fight the monster, and then disappear, and oh, he's with us, he's helping us, but he doesn't want to talk to us, he doesn't want to join, what's his deal, who is he, right? This sort of thing, and I was kind of expecting that, but no, we are kind of moving too fast for that to be the case. Again, not moving fast in a bad way, just an observation, we are moving fast. Yeah, parents' business, of course. The way they prepare the most powerful hero. Right, she went through a lot of training, years of combat training, and she's still very much easily flustered, a little bit clumsy, right? You went through a lot of combat training, but you still struck the blackboard with your mop, so you're not quite as skilled as you claim you are. I like her. I like her so far. She was the much needed element of friction in our friend group, right? Powerful, yeah, he's a powerful fairy, but can only speak preset lines, so basically a toy. You press the button and it speaks one of the 5 pre-encoded lines. Cool. And yeah, of course, Mimori got 3 of them. And it's because I only need 1. My 1 Pokemon is stronger than your 3 Pokemon, Babaka. Death. I wonder if those tarot readings, I don't know how much I should be looking into them, because death, okay, you could interpret it within the scope of just this episode, the death of her old convictions and the birth of her new ones, death as in her getting embarrassed by the others, or we could look at it in the span of seasons, and she's destined to die at the end of season 2 or whatever. I'm not sure how deep I should be looking into it. I'm just gonna say the time span for a tarot reading like that is 1 episode, and I'm just gonna live with that. Yeah, you should listen to your senpais, of course. She's not going for udon or tempura or whatever it is they're eating. The stubborn times really fire me up. What do you mean? What do you mean by that, Fuu? What do you mean they fire you up? Like, trying to tame them and have them join the club? Trying to round them up and make them less stubborn? Trying to befriend them? Or are you thinking like furry chains and I don't know. But she's thinking something, all right. And yeah, of course, she's training by herself in the sunset and then coming back to an empty house. Her parents are, of course, out, if they exist at all, because it's entirely possible that she might be an orphan. She made it to a Taisha-run orphanage, and they figured she has enough of the fairy factor in her or whatever that she will resonate with the fairy, so they gave her the app and she was raised to be a hero. It could be that her parents are somewhere, they remained in their old city and only she moved here at Taisha's behest. Or maybe her parents exist, they just neglect her. I don't know. Yeah, a lot of newspapers. That's a Taisha branded box with mystery contents. Water, the shrine. There's a shrine everywhere, it seems. In every single building, in every single room, almost. From Karin to Taisha. The current heroes seem to be unaware. Well, tell them. Tell them. That's... I really don't like the plotline of something is important, but the main characters weren't told that. For some godforsaken reason. We're fighting for the same side, but we're not gonna tell you the details that matter. And then we're gonna be angry at you because you did something that wasn't, how we wanted it. Because we didn't tell you the details that mattered. I'm not a fan. If she knows that the current heroes seem to be unaware of the seriousness of the situation, well, tell them of the seriousness of it. Unless it's not like a new thing, a new finding, and she just believes that they're unaware of the seriousness. Like, they know that, hey, we fight Vertexes, and if we don't, then the world ends, and they simply choose to have fun. But she believes that they're, like, unaware of the, like, no, for real, the world will end, though. For real, get it into your heads. In this sort of meaning. I don't know, could be either, I guess. Packed bento, looks like, I don't know, rice with some things on it. We don't see more detail of this bento. No, we don't. A lot of supplements, some amino acids for muscles, something else, water and dried sardines. Yeah, of course, she's a great swimmer. She's great at everything, basically, academically, sports-wise. You need to keep in mind that you're a hero as well, right? And we are kind of getting into the theme of what does it mean to be a hero. And it really reminds me of Frieren. It also had some, in the background, it also had some themes of what does it mean to be a hero. Who is more heroic? The one who grows endlessly in strength and beelines it for the demon lord and tries to destroy that demon lord straight up? Or the one who might not be quite as strong, but sticks around for a while and stops by on their way and helps the common folk and doesn't just beeline it for the demon land, but makes everybody's lives a little bit happier, right? Who's more heroic here? And it kind of shows this the same divide here. Like, our girls are not just heroic in the context of Taisha, not just heroic in the context of saving the world. They're generally heroic. They see that, oh, a children's hospital needs, I don't know, blankets. Let's start a fundraiser. Let's start collecting blankets. Let's create like a festival or something and have people bring blankets. We're going to collect them. We're going to bring them to the hospital. We're going to make their lives better. They see a notice of a missing cat. They're going out there looking for that cat, right? They're doing the tiny little small things that also matter, that matter a lot. To the common folk, the people don't know that world is ending. They don't care because they can't care. And those girls are helping those people with the things that they do care about. That's heroism. That's being a hero. Meanwhile, Karin has the approach of being a hero of, I'm gonna seclude myself, I'm gonna forge my body into a weapon, I'm gonna forge my mind into a weapon, I'm going to become the perfect weapon of destruction, and I'm going to nuke the bad guy. And nothing else matters. Just, tunnel vision towards the bad guy, destroy the bad guy, kill the bad guy. That's what being a hero means. And every waking moment I spent training to forge myself into a weapon to kill the bad guy, training bad guy. All that matters. And this is a nice clash. And I really wonder what is the intent of Taisha here. I don't know anything about Taisha. I don't know whether I should be treating them as potentially malicious or fully benevolent. If they are potentially malicious, I can see Karin being sent here genuinely to bring the girls in line, to force them to train, stuff like that. I can see her reports prompt Taisha to block their abs, right? Oh, you're bad heroes, you can't be heroes anymore until you complete the boot camp. Something like that. Assuming Taisha is not malicious, it's benevolent, I can see them sending Karin here so that she can unwind, so that she can be the common folk hero. She knows how to fight. She knows all of that. She's trained and learned. But she needs some people skills. She needs to help a lady cross the road. She needs that. So she was sent here to learn from the girls, not to teach them. Could go either way, or could go neither. She could just be sent here as, oh, her training just got, extended, so she's joining you now instead of earlier, and that's basically it. Could be either. Vitamins, minerals, calcium, taurine, EPA, DHA, yeah, a lot of stuff. Botamochi. I know what mochi is. What is botamochi? Botamochi, also known as ohagi. Oh, that's mochi with anko incorporated into the dough, it seems. Right? Like, not filled with anko, but rather anko added to the mochi. Oh no, it's mochi but covered with anko on the outside instead of having anko on the inside. Gotcha. Also covered with soybean flour, sweetened ground black sesame, stuffed with red bean paste. Okay, so basically like spiced up mochi. Oh, and ohagi is the exact same thing, but in spring it's botamochi, in autumn it's ohagi. Of course. Why wouldn't they have a different name depending on the time of the year? Okay, so mochi with red bean paste on the outside. We assume that the vertexes follow regular invasion patterns. Vertex attack frequency average 1 every 20 days, we think. 1 unit attacks, another 3 attack at once, right? A 5th unit attacks, and I defeated another 7. Right, we have another 7 to defeat. We assume that they follow regular invasion pattern, and I'm gonna note down vertex, not vertice, not vector, vertex. Vertex. No. Vertexes are the points in a 3D model, right? Where lines meet and faces, right? You have vertexes, edges, and faces. And vertexes are the dots that are connected with edges to create triangles or polygons, depending on what the model is. And I'm kind of trying to figure out what geometric figure has 12 vertexes. I thought maybe a cube would be significant somehow, but no, a cube has 8 vertexes. Not a pyramid, as we've seen there, because a pyramid has only 5 vertexes. So it can't be related to like the soul of it. Whoa, what would have 12 vertexes? A cube, but with 4 additional vertexes. So, a polyhedron of some sort. Figure with 12 vertexes. I don't want to do mental math counting how many. Dodecagon. Oh, but it's in 2D. So now the dodecagon. Here is a chart of 3D figures. I have no clue if it's even relevant, but I'm gonna look it up, of course. 12 edges, no vertices. Octahedron, 6 vertices. Hexagonal prism has 12 vertices apparently, but I don't think hexagonal prism is in any way, shape, or form special. I'm gonna try 3D figure with 12 vertices. Yeah, the decagon, I know that. 3D figure with 12 vertices. Cuboctahedron. Duh, of course. Icosahedron, maybe? Dodecahedron. Right. Dodecahedron. It has dodecahedron with regular pentagons as faces, which is a platonic solid. There are also 3 regular star dodecahedra. Yeah. So I guess a dodecahedron, which means basically nothing. I'm just gonna note it down though, just in case it does mean something. 12 vertexes is a dodecahedron, and you will also get a nice frame. If it means something or not, I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, let's continue. I spent a lot of time googling. We expect multiple enemies to attack together to make up for it, right? So probably like 3 or 4 the next time around, which means that they get rid of all 12 even sooner than expected, which means that something else is probably a threat as well, or will be a threat. When you gain enough battle experience, you can level up and become stronger. Why can't you just level up right like that? It's a mechanic in the app, so why can't you just, unlock it? Why can't Taisha just unlock it and let you like cookie clicker this shit and level up to 120 and out level those and just one-shot them? When you gain enough battle experience is so vague. It's so vague because also they have a limited amount of mobs, for the lack of a better term, to grind XP on, right? So chances are not all of them will bloom even once fighting them. Or does other battle experience also count? Can you like spar and get experience from that? I don't know. Blooming. By blooming repeatedly, you can become even stronger. Yeah, so it's something you can do more than once. We're possibly looking at like second and third and fourth henshins. Maybe. Yeah, let's practice in the morning. So I assume that practice fighting also counts for battle experience. I know, if that was the case, then I feel like Karin would have already leveled up, or sorry, bloomed. But she didn't, so maybe not. Yeah, when we're all working together, we usually pull through anything. Right. Thanks to those 5 tenets. And yeah, there's a children festival, you're a member of our club, you're gonna be heroic, you're gonna help the children. That's what heroes do. Don't, discount that as, not fighting a monster, it's not being heroic. No, there are many ways to be a hero. You don't need to be, a hero to be a hero. You can just play Medaka box. Well, play Medaka box as in they take requests and fulfill them, but whatever. Not as if Medaka... Is Medaka box a game? I don't think there's a... Medaka box dashing. It is a game, apparently. Huh. Alright. Been a while since I've seen Medaka box. I might rewatch it one day. I remember liking it. Yeah, spend some time on the phone, eat your konbini bento, run on the treadmill, and why is my camera blinking in and out? Facecam, deactivate, activate. You gonna behave now? They're so undependable, it's astonishing. I wonder if people at Taisha actually read those messages and take them at face value, or do they read them and they know Karin's character and they're like, yeah, it's to be expected. Of course she would write something like this. Let's give her a little bit more time to get, rounded out, to warm up to those girls and to stop being such a, tightly winded spring that she is. Assuming that is Taisha's goal. But yeah, she's earnest. She's easily flustered, she's haughty, but she's also, right, she's earnest. She got a task of, hey, learn origami and help the kids with origami, and she did it. She didn't immediately discount that idea. She didn't throw it out as, oh, origami is not going to help me be a warrior. A sword cuts paper, not folds it, and I am a sword. No, she got to it and learned origami. And she was here before the time scheduled. But she has 0 people skills, so she was afraid to call. Of course, what am I supposed to say? It's better to ignore it. It's better to just ghost them and go do your things than engage in social contact. And I can legitimately empathize with her. Many times, I'm gonna admit to it, many times have I turned off like WhatsApp notifications or SMS notifications because I sent a message and I was afraid of the response and I turned that shit off. No. Whatever happens, I don't want to deal with that right now. Many times I, for example, sent an SMS request for like time off at work because I was sick or something, and I never wanted to hear the response of whatever it might have been, so I would just shut off my phone and throw it out and pick it up in like 2 hours with the message notifications turned off so that I don't see what they responded with. So I can empathize. I really can. I'm not gonna call them. I don't want to have this discussion. Just turn off the phone. Yep, I can see myself doing the exact same thing. Well, maybe not the exact same thing. I'm not, socially crippled to that degree. If I'm late, of course, I would just call and say, sorry, I'm late. I thought I'm, we were supposed to meet there, but we're supposed to meet somewhere else. I'm gonna be there, but just wait for me. But she didn't. She's a little bit more socially crippled than I am, and she's built different, as she says. She's not like the other girls. And yeah, they didn't even, they didn't come here with to like throw it at her face. Why were you not there? The children were so disappointed that they didn't get to learn origami. Why are you not picking up the phone? No, they were worried. They were worried that something might have happened to her. Right? That shows a lot about their character. It really does. And they have absolutely nothing to say on the topic of her being late besides just stating, hey, you didn't come. We were worried. And they don't pick up that topic ever again during this meeting. It really tells a lot about their characters, doesn't it? Yeah, they're just letting themselves in. We get a zoom on the Taisha logo. I wonder if it's something significant, or is it like a box that she used to move in with her clothes and stuff. Maybe. I know. Treadmill. The fridge just says only water, of course. With time, something tells me that this very bland room will become a little bit less bland. Something tells me she might get a colorful mug from one of her friends, or maybe a poster, or maybe she will hang the photo that they took during this meeting. Something's gonna happen to this space. I can absolutely see that happening. Actually, might as well note it down. Why not? Karin's apartment gets spiced up, and in parentheses, with mementos like photos, gifts, etc. Yeah, it's her birthday. Happy birthday, birthday girl. What are they having? What they're on the table? That was a good frame for that, but I missed it. Potato chips. 3 different kinds. Lemon chocolate, chocolate mushrooms, some sort of animal cookies, terry cookies, whatever those are. Some wafers with cream, calbo cubes. I don't know what calbo is. I only know calbi, I think. I don't know. Santa juice. This square bottle, they sell aloe juice in bottles like that in Poland, but judging by the leaf, it's green tea or maybe oolong, and Coke, of course, and some mochi or some other types of sweet bowls and single-use cups. And yeah, she never had birthday. Of course she didn't. She was raised to be a warrior. Warriors don't have birthdays. Warriors have kill days when they've taken the life of their first victim. That's what they have. That's what they celebrate. Yeah, she forced herself to not care. It's so incredibly apparent. And they're breaking down those barriers. They're breaking down her preconceptions. I don't need friends. Yes, you do. Yes, I do. In response, right? I don't do birthdays. Now you do. Okay, now I do. That's going to be her, existence here. She's been practicing origami again, extremely earnest, but just can't be open with it. Yeah, we're doing a skit during the cultural festival, and I can already see Karin being red as a beetroot during the skit. I can absolutely see that happening. I fully expected something to hit the fan here. I fully expected something to happen here. It's dark, a brightly lit room, high contrast. She stumbles, she makes a sound, right? Oh shit, she's gonna fall down. She's sick. Somehow she got wounded during fight. Something's gonna happen to her. She's gonna get abducted. Those sorts of thoughts going through my head. Fully expected that. I fully expected shit to hit the fan. Mahou Shoujo shows conditioned me to believe that shit's gonna hit the fan sooner or later. And with the pace of this show, I fully expected sooner. I fully expected this to be something that, hits the fan. She clicks the link and, oh, it's a document revealing how corrupt Taisha is and it breaks her entire worldview. Or it's a virus that allows whoever to control her hero app, or something. No, it's just an invite. It's just an invite from Fuu to join their group chat. Their, like, weirdly designed group chat. She replied, Botamochi. Botamochi indeed. Things are gonna be fun. Indeed they are. Indeed they are. She might not look like she's having fun quite yet, but by the end of the season, she will. Assuming everybody survives. But I think they do. I don't think it's the kind of a show that would, like, permanently kill off one of the characters. Although I might very well be mistaken, and I am going to call you back. I'm sorry. We're supposed to be heroes saving the world, and they are saving the world little by little. Little by little. Saving the world doesn't always mean killing the bad guy. It sometimes means just making the world a better place. Niboshi-chan. Who's Niboshi? Nobody's named Niboshi. Nobody's named Nibo. Is it like play on Miyoshi? Ah. And they're gonna be singing. Alpha waves, well, that just sounds like Symphogear. Monster, I have my reasons, there's no reason. What's the reason you fight? Probably. What's the reason you fight? Next episode, Shining Hearts. Their hearts will shine brightly against the monster threat. Or something like that. Okay, so good episode. I really liked that. I like how we are actually getting some good and proper slice of lifey stuff. Good. I need some slice of life to establish the stakes and have the stakes be down to earth. So I'm glad they're doing that. I'm glad they're not just jumping straight into, constant fighting with the Vertexes. And again, this show proves to have a brisk pace, as I already stated. First, it's the thing with Mimori, having her issues, having her doubts, right? Am I good enough to fight? Can I even fight? Right? Those sorts of thoughts. And yeah, you can, immediately. Second episode, she gets her walking ribbons, she gets her weapons, she can fight, she can be useful. Cool, we dealt with that very quickly. Here, Karin arrives and she's very standoffish and she's very haughty, and I'm thinking that, okay, we're gonna take a few episodes until she warms up to the team. She might cause some issues because she's not willing to do a teamwork with the rest of the girls, and then after the mission fails, or almost fails, she reflects on the fact that it was because of her, because she didn't want to work with them, yada yada yada. No, none of that. None of that drama. We basically solve the issue within the span of a single episode. Which again tells me that we will deal with the vertexes very quickly as well. Which makes me wonder what's the real threat. Or what's the other threat. Because there has to be some. We would not be getting, 3-4 seasons of the anime with just 12 vertexes. Yeah. I mean, it's the third season and I already have this much written down, so that alone should show you how good this show is and how much I enjoy it and theory crafting about it. Good episode. I very much liked it. I very much like the addition of Karin. I see on the list of characters that there is some other character. I don't know whether she's going to be a classmate or another member of the group. We'll see about that. I don't want to spoil it for myself, so I'm not going to look her up or anything like that. But yeah, this addition to the group really did a lot to their like dynamic, because it was going too smoothly. So we gotta introduce a little bit of tension, a little bit of friction, not for long. But I assume Karin will also not be permanently changed this quickly. She's not going to, you know, completely be like sunshine, rainbows, and friendship. There's gonna be issues, and we're gonna work through them, and it's gonna be nice, a nice thing, seeing Karin and her relationship with the rest of the girls grow. Nah. I guess that's basically it. A nice slice of life episode introducing a new character. I enjoyed it. Did you? Did you enjoy this episode? Tell me about it in the comments down below. What did you think of it, of my reaction, my theories, stuff like that? No spoilers, please, I beg of you. Spoilers can go to my Discord here, also in the description below. Like this video if you liked it, subscribe to be notified of future videos, not only Yuuki Yuuna, but also Shangri-La Frontier, Majo Toyaju, Metallic Rouge, plenty others coming in the future, because the next season is beginning, and if you wanna watch me watch what the next season is going to be, I'm gonna be streaming that the day after tomorrow for Patreon people. For YouTube people, I've already streamed it, so you can check out the VOD. So click the bell to be notified when I stream, when I go live, because I do sometimes. Support the channel if you want monetarily on Patreon, link down below, where for $10 a month you get Yuuki Yuuna 1 week early, up to 1 week early, if I don't forget and you remind me, then maybe. And for just $1 you get a role on the Discord and a place in the credits. You can also support me on YouTube via memberships, super thanks, super chats, stuff like that. And if you don't want to spend any money whatsoever, share my content, spread the word. It costs you absolutely nothing and helps the channel a lot. And now, with all of that out of the way, that's gonna be it from me for today. So as always, you guys do all the good stuff, and I'm gonna see you in the next one. Cheers! And here's my wonderful Patreons: QB, Without a Net, Survivor, Zayren, Absolution, Yuki Ala, Ishtamu, Marcos, and Dr. Watt, Akamasar, Marsh, Fassel, and Hans Peter. And you can join them as well without having to train by the sunset.